Um, let's see. I've been watching a ton of Washington State here, trying to remember back here. There were a lot of good things. I was not pleased with the way that we started. I think we gave up 3 sacks or hurries on the quarterback. In the first 10 plays of the game. So I wasn't really pleased with the way that we started. That's been a point of emphasis this week is starting fast. But I was pleased with the way that we battled back. The second quarter, I thought there were some good things, and we were able to run the ball, and get Jamar going. I thought our offensive line played a lot more physical last week, which was really good to see. And that just, when we're able to run the ball, it just takes a lot of pressure off the queue. And Connor was able to hit some throws and some play action things and get going and move the ball. And at the end of the game, I think, or towards the end, we had a chance to make it a single-score game down to the 1-yard line, and was pretty disappointed with our effort. We had a chance to punch it in, kind of a missed assignment on a play, and then we jumped off sides. And so you just got to clean up our execution down there, and we make it a single-score game, and you never know from there.
You're down. Oh, go ahead.
How do you emphasize starting fast in practice?
I think it's just, when we have those drills that are early and we're going to compete against the defense, I think it's, you're just emphasizing, hey, we got to get going. We walk on the practice field. We got to execute right from the first snap, and then I think just getting those guys comfortable with the opening plays, and in the end they just got to go out and execute earlier.
With the pass protection, how did you turn it around Saturday? I know so one time you rolled out Connor at one point early in the second.
Yeah,
quarter.
we tried to move it a little bit early, and then I really think it was the run game. It wasn't like we made any adjustments schematically. We had one was a mental error. One we got beat in a one-on-one situation, and I think when we were able to start running the ball, those guys weren't able to just rear back and come get us in the pass rush. So I think running the ball really help the protection out.
Speaking of that, Jamar, watching his performance, it's toughness, but it's athleticism, and it's the ability not to hesitate.
Yeah, he I think he's seeing things well, and I think it's the vision that you're talking about, and I think he just has a really good feel for some of the run schemes that we're doing, and an ability to kind of see the cut, make it, and get vertical. And I was really pleased with the way that he was able to handle the workload Saturday.
Could you see him becoming more of a receiver as he continues his evolution as a player?
Yeah, I'd like to. And Arizona State was a pretty unique defensive scheme, and we were keeping the back end a lot and help out with protection. But yeah, moving forward, I think he's got good ball skills, and there's some things that we can do with him, either flexing him out into an empty set or getting him out of the backfield.
Looking at Washington State, you spent a couple years definitely in this conference. What have they been able to build defensively under Alex Grinch, and then now continue under Tracy Claeys?
Just the movement up front. I think it's. I think that they move a lot up front. They stem before the snap and change the look for you. For your front, and that makes things tricky on you. And then I think that those guys they're really aggressive and they play really hard. That's something that really stands out on film. And I know that just from talking to different coordinators in the Pac-12 that it's always a challenging week when you play the Cougs for sure, and they just present so many different looks for you up front.
How do you get the big pass plays back into the offense?
Well, I think it's I think the run game helps us, when we get people up, and then I think it's just some of the things was protection last week, is we got to be able to protect long enough to get the ball down the field, and I thought early in the game we had some opportunities to get the ball down the field, had some guys open, and we weren't able to protect it, and Connor got flushed, and that's, and then I think it's ultimately, since it's guys, receivers, we got to give those guys a couple more opportunities, to get down the field and go make play in one-on-one situation.
How did you like the execution of the flea flicker?
Yeah, that was good. That was good to see. I mean, we'd been running the ball well, and those safeties were kind of creeping up towards the box, and that was something that we'd been repping for a couple weeks, and I thought the guys did a nice job of executing. It would have been nice to see Hodge catch and be able to finish through that for even a bigger play, but it was good to hit that explosive play, and I thought that was at a big point in the game. We were down a couple scores, and I think that kind of changed the momentum there in the second quarter and got us back into it.
You talked about slow starts, but like the Reno game, similar, down 23 or down 21 here. What do you like about it? Is it a resiliency? Is it the fact that these guys, hey, it's not over yet? I mean, because some teams could fold up a tent and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we've been, Coach Smith's been preaching that man, we want to go out there and we want to compete on every snap, and regardless if we're up 14 or we're down 14. And I thought that point has been kind of driven home to the team, and I thought they've embraced it. And it's been good. We've been in some tough situations, and I think the guys have continued to fight, and we've been able to get ourselves back in a few games and give ourselves a chance.
If Isaiah's not able to go this week, who steps into his role?
Isaiah
Hodgins.
Yeah, it would be, Timmy Hernandez will be, in there, and Trayvon Bradford, and then there's a host of other guys, Champ Flemings, Aaron Short, Tino Allen.
So there's no one likely that would start among those three.
Yeah, I think Coach Hinson is trying to figure that out this week, and I think right now we're just rotating guys and see who has the best week of practice.
Going back to the split between if Pierce comes back, not this week, but in general when he comes back, Jonathan said yesterday he wants the 1-2 punch. What does that mean exactly? Like, is that a 50-50 split in terms of carries, or is it hard to predict that right now?
I think it's hard to predict, and a lot of it will have to do on the health of, AP and where he's at. But, I think it would be nice to be able to have both those guys fresh when they're in there. And I think we've put a lot on Jamar, particularly as a true freshman, with the workload and the number of carries he's got, to where, if you could get AP in there and when those guys are in there fresh, they're pretty dynamic backs and give us the opportunity for big plays. So I think just the freshness part of it.
Does Jamar seem worn out at all?
Not to me. No, I think it just, during the game a little bit, you can, I've been pretty surprised with it, actually, just watching the tape. But I just think as the season goes on, we've got to be really careful about that, so we can keep him fresh, as we get to